Hi, I'm here and Creepy Baby is here too. It has been 3 months since I posted a video here. I didn't plan on not uploading at all, but that's just the way that things worked. Honestly, I did not have a lot of time to do videos, but now I have quite a bit of time. I'm filming this video on March 30th, 2020. I have not been at work since March 13th, 2020, due to COVID-19, aka
coronavirus.
And since I have not had to really get ready for anything in over 2 weeks, I just decided that I wanted to beat the face, put on a bra, and talk to some people, even if they are people on the other side of the camera that I can't see. I just wanted to talk about how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, see what you guys are up to, because the word unprecedented has been used a lot, and for once it's actually being used correctly. This has never, in my specific life, there's been a lot of unprecedented things. I am from Central Florida. I work in the theme park industry. I work for both Universal Orlando and Walt Disney World, and we have never closed for something like this ever. We close sometimes for hurricanes in stages, but we don't close for things like this. Both of my jobs shut down on March 16th, and per what we've been told, as of March 30th, we can expect at least another 2.5 weeks of being closed. We're being told that we can expect closures through the 18th and 19th, respectively. 18th for Disney, I think, and 19th for Universal. You're gonna wonder, I'm gonna tell you, we are being paid. We're being paid for Universal an average of what we were paid the 4 weeks prior to closure. For Disney, because they're union, it's another situation where, like, take your average from September to now, that's what you're getting paid. So I'm getting paid, which is good. A lot of my friends are not. A lot of my friends, I live in Orlando, so a lot of my friends are in the service industry, hospitality, tourism. They are not getting paid. Their restaurants and bars are closing. They're being laid off. They're being furloughed. SeaWorld famously, if you hadn't heard, if you're not in the theme park world, you may not have heard, they furloughed all of their part-time employees. Thankfully, I am still employed, both jobs. Thank God, still have money coming in. So that's awesome. I'm really, really, really thankful and blessed. I do not take that for granted for 1 second, even though I literally have not made a video since I got employed at Disney. Let's talk about that. I officially started working at Disney probably right before or right after I posted my last video of the year last year. I don't love it. I've worked there before. Didn't love it then. Came back with rose-colored glasses, thought it would be better. Unfortunately, I've been extremely spoiled by working for Universal. They are amazing. They are really good to their employees. They treat us well, and Disney is just too big to care about people sometimes. But like I said, very grateful to them for still paying us. It just came out right before I started filming this video that a bunch of the executives took huge pay cuts. I think Bob Iger is not even he's foregoing his entire salary. They haven't said how that's gonna help cast members or if it is going to, but it's a nice show of solidarity. And I know you can see my tan lines, and I just want to say that is from pre-quarantine. Unfortunately, I've not been able to, like, be tan. It's been weird because the day they announced that they were going to shut down the theme parks, I went to Volcano Bay that day. That's a Universal's water park. And the next week I went to lunch with my dad, and we dined in a restaurant, and then they were like, we're shutting down all dine-in, and I was like, oh my God. And then they did something else where, I had like a pool get together before, like, the lockdown happened at my house, and the next day they shut our pools and our gyms and everything down at the apartment complex I live at. And I was just like, I am cursing everyone. Like, everything I do, right after I do it, they're like, nope, no more. So I'm just like, my bad. But I've been trying to go outside every day. I'm very fortunate, again, to live in Florida. It's 90 degrees right now. I know that in New York, where my mother-in-law is, it was snowing 2 days ago. So I'm like, I don't know what I would do if I couldn't walk outside or if there wasn't sun, because I'm getting, like, serious cabin fever. Like, today I finally started, like, for the first time, I think, the anxiety of being literally trapped in my house with nowhere to go and nothing to do finally hit me, and I think that's why I wanted to make a video and kind of, like, talk some things out. So I'm just here with my boyfriend and my dog, which is great. Like, love them both to death, but I'm like, oh my God, if I don't see another human face or, like, talk to someone else, like, it's it's wearing on me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty introverted, but I didn't realize like forced introversion and forced homebodyism would not be fun for me. It's like there's a meme going around that's like, all I want to do is stay home on the weekends and Netflix and chill. And then it's like the government says you have to do it, and it's that penguin that's like, well, now I am not doing it. Like, that's me. But I did want to also mention, because this is my writer channel, the writing stuff I've been doing. So obviously I'm making a video for the first time in 3 months. There's obviously like, I'm hoping to use this time to kind of up my content game. I want to spend, you know, a little bit of time every day working on meaningful content for social media, working on stuff like that for maybe YouTube. Don't quote me, I don't know yet. And in the midst of all this coronavirus stuff, my second book came out. Accidental Evils, the sequel to my first novel, Civil Blood, came out on March 15th, so it's been out for a little over 2 weeks now, through Amazon on Kindle and paperback, and that has been really cool. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to happen in the middle of literally right before my entire city was like, shut down, stop going to work, goodbye. It has been good. A lot of people are like, hey, if you have nothing to do, buy this book. Hey, if you have nothing to do, buy this book. I've had people be like, hey, I'm reading for the first time in months because I have the time and I picked up your book and it's cool. So that's really cool. And it's kind of happened at the perfect time, but it wasn't like I did not want my book to come out before a nationwide lockdown. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want my first book to come out when I was in the middle of one of the darkest depressions of my life either, but that also happened. You can go check out my 2018 recap if you don't know what I'm talking about. But since I haven't been to work in 17 days and I haven't been able to really like go out and do things for like a week and some change, I did finish the third draft of the final book in the Thistlewolf trilogy, which is Something Wicked. I sent a proof of that over to my alpha reader, Megan, Thistlewolf's #1 fan. Love that girl. And it's a hot garbage fire, but I got it done, and that's all that matters. And it's gonna need a lot of work, but I was glad. You can't work on it until you get it done. I needed some input. I need to know what the hell to do, and so I got that work done, and that's great. And then since I have the time and I have other projects I want to work on, I'm also working on the second draft of my magical realism novel, Blood from a Stone, and it's been keeping me busy. But it's been really hard. I really thought that I was just like the biggest piece of shit for not utilizing this time to my full advantage. Like, I made this whole schedule once I realized that I wasn't going back to work, and I was like, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna take a walk and you're gonna work out, you're gonna spend an hour meditating, and you're gonna spend 2 hours writing, and then you're gonna take a break so that you can do some chores, and then you're gonna do this, and I made like a schedule for myself. And then the first day that I slept till noon and didn't change out of my pajamas, I was like, I'm a fucking loser. Like I am wasting my life. I'm not utilizing this time, and this is why you're not successful as a writer, because you can't utilize your time. And there's been a lot of talk with all this stuff going on about like how productivity based we are as a culture, and how we all base our worth on how much we produce, whether it's for a company or for our own creative output, etc. And it's been really interesting to kind of learn that like your worth as a human being shouldn't be based on how much you can accomplish, and that this quarantine is self-quarantine, whatever, isolation, is kind of a blessing, because it's forcing you to kind of look at, first of all, what's important to you, second of all, what you want to do with your life, but third of all, like, how do you respond when you can't base your worth on your productivity? If I lay in bed all day, because literally right now as a world, as a human population, we're going through a trauma response. That's something I had to understand and learn, why I'm so tired and why I'm like getting sad and like feeling emotional and for all these reasons. I'm like, I'm just sitting at home, I'm still getting paid, I have nothing to worry about. Like, my bills are still paid, I still have my health insurance, I can still buy groceries, I'm not getting laid off, I'm not being evicted. Like, it's I'm lucky. Why do I feel sad? And it's, well, we're going through it as a human race right now, and you're responding to, first of all, the constant flood of news and information that you're getting from social media. I've when all this stuff was first starting to happen, I was checking social media like crazy because I wanted to know what shut down now, what can I do now, what's going on with Disney, what's going on with Universal, what about now, what about here, how are my friends doing, did somebody else get laid off, did someone else's business close, what's going on with my friends who work on the cruise ships, like what's gonna happen. And it was draining me because I was taking in everybody's input and opinion and feelings and conspiracy theories, and then learning about all the people who were dying, and then this famous person got it, and then this person died, and this person died, and it's fucking traumatic. Like that's not drama, that's not theatrics, that's not overreacting. Like this is traumatic for us as a human race, what we're going through. And it's okay if your response to trauma is sleeping a little bit more or crying or not being as productive as you want to be. It's okay if you're not your most creative, motivated, fulfilled self right now, even though you're at home and why can't I write? I have all this time to write. I should use it. It's like, yeah, but it's okay if your body and your mind and your soul and your spirit is like, I can't right now. I need to take in art. I need to let myself do nothing, because as a society and a culture, we don't believe in doing nothing. We always say, all I want to do when I get off this weekend, all I want to do is do nothing. We never do nothing. That's not what we do. It's not a good use of time to sit on the porch for 45 minutes in the morning drinking coffee. It's not a good use of time. It's not a productive use of time. And it's okay to want to be productive in this downtime with the things that you're passionate about rather than what you usually have to be productive about. But it's okay if you can't as well. Like it's okay if you're struggling to figure out how to do that. This is uncharted territory. Also, I'm someone who gets on to myself about a lot of screen time, a lot of social media time. We're by ourselves. So social media is actually like a really useful tool right now. Not in the way that I was just saying that I was utilizing it when I was learning about all the lockdown and all the information that was coming out, where I'm constantly checking the news, and like that can get really toxic. But I am utilizing an app called Zoom for the first time in my life to have happy hours with my friends, and I am in my Instagram DMs more than I've ever been in my life because I'm talking to all my friends from work, and I'm like, how are you doing? Oh my god, your cat had kittens, like that's so cool. Like I'm actually engaging with them instead of just liking their photos. Like I'm utilizing those platforms that used to just be a total time suck. I mean, now they're a great resource to still connect with human beings. Luckily I live with a human being, so I'm getting like, I'm not touch starved. I'm not like missing human touch and interaction too much because I have him, but it's like there's a difference, and even the most introverted person needs human interaction. So don't be mad at yourself if you're spending like 6 hours a day on social media if you have nothing else to do. Like, yeah, we're all lonely. We're all going through it. Hang in there. If you've been negatively affected by this whole situation in terms of a sick relative, a sick family member, if you've been laid off, if your work is drying up, I know a lot of my entertainment friends, singers, creatives, they are not working right now, and it is really painful to see them going through it. And my heart goes out to them, goes out to you if you're feeling that way, if you're going through that. And I hope that as this continues, because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere for at least, I think I saw something yesterday that was like, we're probably going to have to continue social distancing through the end of April, which means another month. Maybe by then we'll all kind of figure it out. It's really weird in our culture, American culture especially, who is like hustle, grind, never stop, productivity means everything. We're so about that grind and hustle culture that literally sitting in our houses doing nothing is like, that's the best thing that we can do for this whole pandemic situation. And it's also like so foreign to us that we don't know what the fuck is going on, and we're like having serious adverse reactions to it, honestly. Do I have a hobby that's like not revolving around spending money and going out? Because that's what I've really realized is like my entire personality is buying things I don't need and going out to eat at restaurants when I have food at home. Drinking by the pool, which I'm not allowed to do anymore. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying sane. I hope you're being easy with yourself and with those around you. I hope you're not wanting to murder the people in your house yet. And if you are, I hope you're using restraint and understanding that jails are not a fun place to be right now. Civil courts are shut down though, so Maybe you won't get in trouble. I don't know. Don't take legal advice from me. In the meantime, I make videos sometimes, maybe more often during the social distancing self-quarantine situation of 2020. But I'll let you know. I'll see you then. Bye.